What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Show with another video. And today, talking about Switch. It's supposed to release in June something or July something. Honestly, I seen the direct. I wasn't really like, I don't say impressed, but I felt like it just wasn't enough for me to go out and really want to pre-order one. I think it's good for people who don't really own another console. So I own like, three consoles, right? I own a P5, a regular Switch, and then I have the ROG Ally. So if you don't know, the ROG Ally is basically like a little handheld mini computer, and I feel like personally that thing does so much that I wouldn't even really need to get a Switch 2. I think that there's a lot of good like games that'll come out, right? But it'll be like cross-platform. So like I know a lot of people like Pokemon, so I know Pokemon will come out on both. And while I'm definitely not saying that you should, you know what I'm saying, play these Nintendo Switch exclusives on other systems, I just know personally a lot of people will, and there's not going to be a lot of need for games in which that both systems can run. Obviously everybody's been kind of tripping out about the prices of the games and the price of the systems. I kind of expected it to be like in the 400 range, to be honest. I know some people thought it was going to be like 3 something, like high 3s, and I mean in a sense it is, except that it isn't. It's $450, and it feels like you don't really even need to buy it right now. That's kind of a high price tag. I can't even remember how much I paid for my PlayStation 5, but I know it was a lot. And I personally seen the direct, and I'm looking at the only game that I would actually probably buy on that Switch 2 would probably be the last game they showed, the Dusk Bloods or whatever it was. It was the From Software thing. I'm not even a From Software guy, but I do respect the games. I respect the creativity and the gameplay and the mechanics. I know it's going to be a good game. I know it's going to be a good game. But I honestly can't say that I would literally just go out there and spend $450 to get a handheld that can play games like Elden Ring when I could spend maybe a little bit more than that, or a little bit less than that. I think the Steam Deck is kind of cheaper than that. Even if you don't get the ROG Ally like I got, the Steam Deck is cheaper, and it plays a really decent number of games at good graphics, to be truthfully honest. I mean, I think the Switch 2 is going to have some good hardware, but I think it's kind of lost the purpose, right? Like the whole point of the Switch 2 or Switch in general is to be like that family-friendly console. Like you don't want to compete with like the PlayStation or the Xbox, but you want to have a Switch that's going to have those family-friendly games. Maybe those Nintendo classics that you grew up with. But no, here's the thing. I think that it's gonna be a good system. I think it's gonna sell well. Will I probably get one? Probably eventually. I think when they drop a game that I would actually be more interested in, like Fire Emblem or maybe another Smash. I think they said that Smash was gonna be Smash Ultimate was supposed to be like the last one, but we know if a game makes that amount of money that it's gonna keep coming out. But I do feel like at this point it's like the characters are gonna keep multiplying. It's gonna keep being the thing, so they're gonna have to like wait a while for them to drop it if they're gonna make another one. But my main reasoning for not wanting to spend $450 on a console that's going to be specifically based around Nintendo is going to have other games. Like I think they showed that they had Final Fantasy VII Integrate. When I looked at it, I wasn't sure whether it was Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VII Integrate, like just the DLC. And maybe they couldn't get Final Fantasy Rebirth running. I don't know. I might have to go back and recheck that, but that's kind of, I don't know. If I'm getting a Switch 2 and it's supposed to be way more powerful, I'm expecting games like Final Fantasy 16 and some of those heavy graphic games, like I truly get the price increase though. Like I mean, I get it, we're in an age where a lot of the things gonna cost more, but I just feel like, man, if the Switch has always been a great third option in the sense that you could have another console or a second option. You could have a console like a P5, like an Xbox, where you just want to have the Switch just for like portability or whatever. But the problem is that Switch has kind of lost its market, because it used to run the market for handhelds, but now there's so many handhelds out that do so many things that run so well. And back then when Switch came out, it was the only thing of its kind. Like it could play it on the TV, take it out, play it directly on the thing, and now that's being used everywhere. Now they just have handheld computers that could just connect to the TV regardless. So that's gonna be kind of interesting to see. I'm kind of curious to see what that's gonna bring. Oh, it's gonna be good enough. But I would just say that if I had $450, would I want to get a mini computer that can do everything, or get something cheaper like a Steam Deck that's cheaper than the $450? They can do pretty much a lot of things. It can pretty much play all the regular games, but maybe not Nintendo games. Well, it could, but we can get into that. Or would I want to buy this Nintendo Switch, and where I'm gonna be able to play the first party Nintendo IPs, but everything else is going to be like stuff that's already been on other systems. That my main aspect of playing it would just be portability, which I can do that with any other handheld console. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. They'll have to come out with some great exclusives for me to actually kind of go out on a ledge and kind of buy it. I don't personally think it's something I'm really interested in right now. I've never really been like a Donkey Kong or a Mario fan per se. Like I'll play the games, but I've never really been a diehard core fan that I would care about getting any of those new exclusive games. I've never really been a Mario platformer kind of guy, but I'll say it is cool though. They do have a couple of games running. They show Street Fighter 6 and all that, and that's cool. I actually like that game, but I played it already. So I think at this point, I don't really want to go back and play a lot of the old games I've already beaten on PlayStation. So I don't know. I don't really see the need to buy it, to be truthfully honest. And the price is not outrageous. I kind of expected it. Obviously, we talked about it, but I don't think it should be that much. With that being said, guys, what do you guys think about the Switch 2? Will you be picking it up? Are you excited about the games they're releasing? What exclusive do you want to see more? Like, I don't know. I was kind of hyped. Now I'm kind of over it. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.